Hi guys, it's Professor Fernandez, and I'm here to show you a little bit of how to use hypothesis. Now, hypothesis is something new that we're using this semester specifically because we don't have a chance to actually sit and talk to each other about stories. Now, it's an opportunity for you guys to see kind of how I annotate. So, hypothesis is an open access tool that allows you to annotate pretty much any web page on the web. So I'm going to literally give you the links to the stories, most of the stories, through hypothesis. And you'll be able to see some things that I kind of want to point out to you guys. You'll be able to ask questions and answer questions and be able to see lots of things. So let's get started. I want to show you how this thing is going to work. So let me share a screen here with you. And so what you see here is literally kind of the first opportunity you'll be using hypothesis, which is will be with the short story Girl and with Hills Like White Elephants, hopefully. So here you'll have links to just the stories, but I would like for you guys to look at the actual link in hypothesis. And so you'll see that it'll have your course number next to it. So we're going to do the 1302 class. That's the course number is 2011, which is the 8 a.m. class, since it's the first one here and it's already been done. So I'm going to click on it and it takes you straight to hypothesis. And so this is actually the link to your class on hypothesis. Now, as I've asked you before several times, go ahead and sign up for hypothesis. Go ahead and have your own account. If you don't have your own account, what will happen is that we'll actually ask you and prompt you to sign up for it. So that's why I wanted you to sign up for it beforehand. So that way you don't have to spend time trying to say, oh, now I have to sign up for this thing. You've already signed up for it. So if you haven't signed up for the thing, then you'll be on the thing. You will get the group and you'll be there. This is actually the link to the group, and this is the link that I usually give you. And so what you'll have here is that every story that I have annotations for, I'll have there. This doesn't have any way for me to say, oh, you can only see the story from this time to this time. So all the stories that I'm going to be annotating or have annotations for you will be there. You're welcome to look at it at any time, but you may want to go in order. So the first story, of course, is I Am Very Real. So we're going to go ahead and click on it. And what we have here is kind of all the annotations here. And you're probably wondering where the story is. You see this thing right here, it says visit annotations in context. That's what you're going to want to click on. And when you click on this, it brings up the actual story and all the annotations. There's this wonderful thing. Let me move this over. There's this wonderful thing here on the right-hand side, and it gives you some directions on how to get started. If you're already signed in, this is automatic, right? And there's a couple of things I want you to see on the right-hand side. You'll see that there's 8 annotations here, and there's this button here where it says click to show all annotations. And then you will have literally a list of all the annotations that I have put in there for you. And we'll get back to those here in a minute. You'll also see that on the actual story or the actual thing, you will have things that are highlighted, and those things that are highlighted actually coincide with the annotation. So let's say we want to look at this. This highlight coincides with this annotation. If I want to go to the next one, I can go ahead and click on it, and it goes to the next annotation. Same for this one, goes to the next one, and so on and so forth. So you have kind of almost all of my notes, not all of my notes, but you have some of the notes or some things that I kind of want to point out to you guys as you guys are doing this work. Now, you're probably thinking, teacher, I don't want to read your annotations. I just want to read it and then I want to go back and read your annotations. I kind of want to see what I can get on my own and then go back to see kind of what you think. This button right here, which looks like an eye, this one actually lets you toggle between the highlights and the annotations and no annotations. So if you don't want to see any annotations, click on the eye and you'll see there's a slash through that eye. And you'll see now that there's no annotations here at all. So you can actually read it without annotations. And then when you're ready to look at things, you are actually able to click on this and look at the annotations. Now, let's see what kind of annotations I'm putting in here. I'm going to click show on all 8 annotations. Now, there may be things like notes. I may say, hey, consider this thing. What do you think about this? Or, hey, this is an interesting thing to look at for a writer's purpose. Or this is part of the rhetorical situation. Sometimes I'll just ask you a question. So for example, this first one, it says, let's consider this title of this thing. Usually letters don't have titles because this letter is actually a letter. Letter from Birmingham Jail didn't have a title. It was just a letter, right? This is a letter to the Drake School District, didn't have a title. So let's consider this title. The title was put there on this entry by the people who manage the site. By the end of this piece, consider if you think this is a good title. Is it? Respond with your answer by hitting reply. So you're thinking, okay, well, I've already read it once. I'm going through the annotations. I want to reply. So what you have here is a reply button here. So it's that little arrow that curves this way. Hit the reply button, and then you're going to literally write your reply. So you'll say, I think the story got its name from the ending because blah, 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 blah. Once you are done, you can hit post to your class, 1302/2011, or if you're from the 9:30, it's 2015, or if you're from the 11 a.m., you're 2020, right? And you just hit post, and boom, it posts. And when it posts, that means everybody's going to be able to see it, including me. And so what happens is that you're actually able to have a discussion on the piece without being there. It's an opportunity to interact with what I'm giving you without there being any kind of crazy like video, video conference call. So there you go. If you're not liking what you wrote, or if you want to change it, you can change it by clicking this little button here in the, let me show you again, this little pencil looking thing, you can hit that. Or if you're like, that wasn't that great, I want to do it over, you can just hit this little trash can looking thing called delete, and it will delete that part of the annotation. Okay, so just remember that when you're posting things for everyone else to see. So it's not just me, everyone else is seeing it. So it's like an ongoing conversation, and you can reply to other people as well. If you want to post something that is just for you, you're annotating something, maybe you want to say you're highlighting this part and you want to annotate, you highlight that, and a dialog box pops up, says annotate or highlight. You can hit annotate. This thing comes on the side, and then you write your note here. And if you don't want to post it to the class, you can literally click on only me, and only you will see it. I won't see it. No one else will see it but you. And you click there, and that just is there. And so that way you can see my annotations and your annotations. If you want to annotate on top of my annotations, you can see my annotations and your annotations all by yourself. No one else can see it. And then you can answer questions in my annotations so everyone else can see, and you can have a conversation. So I will be checking these as well. I will be going back and forth. The more conversations you have, the better opportunities you have to understand the readings. Okay, guys, that's it. I just wanted to give you a quick rundown on how to use Hypothesis. It's a brand new tool. Let me know what you think. Bye.